A lightning bolt rips through the sky and slams into a lake, turning the surface into a burst of white light for a split second. Thunder rolls, the water settles, and everything looks normal again. But beneath that calm surface, fish were just exposed to one of the most powerful forces in nature. We know lightning carries millions of volts, and we know water conducts electricity. So it's natural to imagine disaster unfolding underwater in that exact moment. So what happens to fish when lightning strikes water? Do they get electrocuted instantly, or does something else happen beneath the surface? That's exactly what we're diving into today, right here, on History of Simple Things. To understand what happens to fish, we first need to look at how lightning behaves when it hits water. A lightning strike is a massive electrical discharge that equalizes charge differences between clouds and the ground, carrying tens of thousands of amps and reaching temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. When it strikes a lake, river, or ocean, the energy does not dive straight downward like a spear. Instead, it spreads rapidly across the surface. Because water, especially salt water with dissolved ions, is a good conductor, electricity follows the path of least resistance and disperses outward in all directions. Most of the current stays concentrated near the surface rather than traveling deep into the water column. Electricity only causes harm if enough current passes through a living body. Fish, like humans, rely on electrical signals in their nervous systems to control muscles and heart function. When an external current interferes with those signals, it can trigger muscle contractions, disrupt heart rhythms, or damage nerves. The severity of the effect depends entirely on where the fish is positioned relative to the strike. Because lightning energy spreads quickly across the surface, the electrical field weakens sharply with distance. A fish very close to the impact point near the surface could experience a lethal shock. Move just a few meters away, and the intensity drops dramatically. As the energy spreads over a wider area, the danger decreases just as quickly. Depth provides significant protection. Since most of the electrical current travels along the top layer of water, fish swimming deeper are largely shielded from the strongest part of the strike. In large lakes and oceans, the energy weakens within the first few meters, meaning fish in deeper zones encounter much lower current levels. In shallow ponds, however, where the entire water column may be only a meter or two deep, a larger portion of the habitat falls within the risk zone. Salinity also affects how electricity behaves. Salt water conducts electricity more efficiently than fresh water, allowing the current to spread more broadly across the surface. While that may sound more dangerous, wider dispersion can actually reduce the concentration of energy in any single spot, limiting extreme intensity at depth. Fish that happen to be near the surface and close to the strike point face the highest risk. Within that limited radius, current density can be high enough to cause immediate harm. The electric shock can disrupt heart function or overwhelm the nervous system. Some fish may die instantly, while others may be stunned and temporarily immobilized. Stunned fish can float or drift, becoming vulnerable to predators or environmental stress. In rare cases, localized fish die-offs have been observed after lightning strikes in small bodies of water. However, such events are typically confined to a small area near the point of impact. In vast environments like oceans, the affected zone is minuscule relative to the total habitat. Fish behavior may also reduce their risk. Many species do not remain at the immediate surface for long periods, especially during changing weather. Storm systems alter light levels, barometric pressure, and surface turbulence. Some fish respond by moving deeper or seeking shelter. While research on storm-specific depth migration is ongoing, it is well established that fish occupy different vertical zones depending on environmental conditions. Because lightning's most intense energy remains near the surface, species that spend more time in midwater or deeper regions are less likely to encounter lethal current levels. The combination of depth preference and rapid electrical dissipation works in favor of survival for most aquatic life. Lightning does more than deliver electrical current. It also generates extreme heat and powerful pressure waves. The strike can instantly superheat a small volume of water at the surface, causing rapid expansion and a shock wave that travels outward. This mechanical force can momentarily increase pressure and create acoustic vibrations underwater. Like the electrical effects, these mechanical impacts are strongest close to the strike and weaken rapidly with distance. Fish very near the impact could experience internal injury from the pressure wave, but again, the affected area is relatively small. In large water bodies, the scale of dispersion ensures that only a limited zone experiences significant mechanical stress. In the end, lightning striking water is dramatic, but its impact underwater is surprisingly contained. The energy spreads outward across the surface and loses strength quickly, limiting the danger to fish that are very close to the strike point. For most fish swimming even slightly deeper or farther away, the storm passes without direct harm. What looks catastrophic from above is, beneath the surface, a brief and localized event. It's a reminder that even the most extreme forces in nature operate within physical limits. And in this case, those limits quietly shield much of the life below. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.